Monday, you can direct them to WBNY's All Talk Monday, 1300 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, New York, 14222. For more information, check out our website at wbny.buffalostate.edu. Or you may give us a call at the station at 716-878-5104. And take part in all the various All Talk Monday shows.
Broadcast is going out. I don't know who's even listening to me.
91.3 FM, WBNY. Are you listening?
Hi, my name's Bob.
Hi, Bob.
I see this ad on TV. Says I can reduce my debt by 50%. I call, they told me to stop paying my bills, stop talking to my creditors. They'd take care of everything.
I gave them thousands, but most of it went to their fees.
Getting out of debt is neither quick nor easy. There are those who will tell you anything to win your trust.
I'm more in debt now because the fees and interest on my cards kept piling up.
Talk to your creditors directly, or to find a nonprofit agency near you, visit debtadvice.org. This has been a public service message.
Hey, local businesses! Did you know that underwriting could get you noticed and recognized from people all throughout the Buffalo area for only a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for commercial radio airtime? 91.3 FM WBNY has been an integral part of the Buffalo community since 1982. Did you know that we're a non-for-profit student-run organization? For us to maintain our daily operations, WBNY counts on the student activity fee here at Buffalo State, as well as contributions from you, the local businesses. For more information, contact the WBNY underwriter at 716-878-3080 or WBNYUWD@gmail.com.
Lend an ear and you'll hear all about a beer for here. We're sincere, a pioneer. Community Beer Works.
Located at 15 Lafayette Avenue, Community Beer Works builds growlers 3 to 7 p.m. Thursdays and Fridays, and at Bidwell's Farmers Market on Saturdays. For more information, go to communitybeerworks.com. Cheers!
So here's 3 cheers for local beers. Beer, 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 Community Beer Works.
Hey, listen to 91.3 WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982, brought to you by the Buffalo State College Student Activity Fee. And it is September 21st, and it is 10 after 5. Welcome to the second episode of Empower Hour with myself, Jessica, Director of Public Affairs, Kayla, Director of Promotions, Farah, and our other co-host seems to have now shown up. Today we have a guest in studio with us. She is our Fierce Female of the Week here at Buffalo State. She is the Assistant Chief. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy Pedlow. I'm the Assistant Chief of Police here at Buffalo State College.
Okay, here at Buffalo State, the students receive emails and maybe even texts about important updates on campus, and I'm reading over and specifically talking about the crime blotter that, courtesy of Mike Peters, he is on the show Mondays from 1 to 2. I see here on the crime blotter for this semester that there's a lot going on. Can you explain why it looks like so much is happening?
Sure. We report all of our crimes on the crime blotter. All of the crimes that come into, the calls that come into the station, if they're crimes, calls for service, calls to report crimes, or whatever, it all comes into our station. If we get a reported crime, we need to report it to all of you, the campus community. So on our crime blotter that's available on our website, we have the crimes reported for the last 60 days. You have to be careful, though, and pay attention to the incident number because there may be an incident number that has 5 or 6 crimes listed with it. So those are not separate incidents that may have all occurred in one incident.
I know when I was actually reading it for the first time, I thought there was a whole lot going on, and it actually, I was a little bit scared to be out on campus.
Yeah, no, Buff State is a very safe campus, and our crime statistics have remained relatively similar in the last 3 years. And, we did get a recent spike in crimes as the new students came in. At just the beginning of the semester, once in a while, we may get a spike in crime, and that appears to be what is going on right now. But throughout the rest of the year, it'll balance itself out, and we'll have probably similar numbers again this year. We should have similar numbers as we did the last 3 years.
I know the initial reason that we had, Mike and I both had first sought out to find UPD and get them on the show was because for the first 3 weeks, during every single weekend, there was something. The first week there was, what was it?
I think the first week was the stabbing. Maybe?
No, that
No.
was the sexual
second week?
assault.
Oh, right,
That was
yeah.
before school even started.
Like the
That was
morning.
during orientation, yeah.
Yeah.
The second week we had the stabbing, I think,
Yeah, the
and then
second
the
week was
third
stabbed.
week we had the not even attempted robbery,
Armed robbery.
armed robbery, and that was like there was a bunch of people around when that happened. So you're always so as you were saying, like it's not this type of thing doesn't always happen on campus. There's just like random spikes.
Yeah, I mean we are a very safe campus, and we did receive a report of a attempted sexual assault just before the semester began. We did send out an alert. What that alert, we have to notify the campus community that something happened. So we sent out a text alert or email message to let everybody know that the assault was reported, and was there a suspect description in the first one? I'm not.
I think it's just like shirt and pants, the shirt and pants color. Is that right?
Okay.
Of
Well,
what?
Like a suspect description.
No, I don't think it was. I think it was. Well, yeah, I think I remember reading like a hoodie.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
Well, anyway, we got the information out to the campus community because you had to be aware that an incident was reported to us. In that incident, we were able to make an arrest very quickly, so that we found it was a student, and another student was a victim, and we were able to make an arrest. So that was good. So the threat to the campus community at that time didn't exist after we made that arrest. In the stabbing incident, slashing incident that occurred outside the student apartment complex, that was a Sunday night into Monday morning on Labor Day, I believe. We also made an arrest in that case, and due to big part in the campus community helping us out, we put the information out that we had the suspect description, and we were fortunate enough to have members of the campus community call in and leave us messages, emails, to give us tips on who we were looking for, and we were able to identify a suspect based on your information. So that worked out very well for us.
Is there ever a circumstance when there would be like not necessarily a specific wanted poster, but you would need to bring in somebody to draw up something and then you would place it around the school, or is that just TV?
No, we did ask for the descriptions of the individuals from the armed robbery. We have a identikit, which you kind of it described to one of our investigators what the individuals looked like, and they can kind of take the eyes and the way the eyes are positioned and draw facial features with this kit, which is helpful in determining a suspect. So we were able to do that with the armed robbery suspect, to have the victims come in and work on that when it was first reported. It was fresh in their minds.
Is that kit only able to be used by somebody that's trained with it,
Yes,
or it's just everybody?
Yeah,
It's
no,
only
it's
trained?
it's our investigators would have that.
What has to happen for it to be coming through for an email or text? Is anything reported, or just like the specific things?
Specific threats to the safety of the campus community. We have to get that information out in a timely fashion. So if somebody had their cell phone stolen while it was unattended in a library, that wouldn't necessitate a timely warning. But something like a sexual assault that occurred, we have to get that information out that the incident did occur. It doesn't have to be right away. It does have to be rather quickly once we get the report into us. But other things that would impede the safety of the campus community, such as a fire in a building. If there was a fire in a building, you would get a text alert saying, stay out of the classroom building. Fire reported in the classroom building, stay away until further notice. Check the website for more information. Because you can only text so many characters.
Yeah.
To get the information out, you have to do it in like less than 140 characters, I believe, which is the same with like a tweet or, but you can put a lot more information into an email. And as it comes in, we've got the ability to update the emails as we're sending them out. So you get the initial text alert, but it'll be followed up in most cases with an email. You can check the website, the Buffalo State College website. Once you go on there, there'll be an alert on our page or on your specific Buff State pages too.
In a case like there's a fire, say a hypothetical fire in classroom building, would classes be canceled or?
That would be the determination. I can't answer that right now because it would that would depend on the situation at hand. It would.
But that would come through in the email or text.
Oh yeah, definitely,
okay.
Definitely.
What is the typical procedure for that UPD does after a call?
The typical procedure?
Yeah, like when you get a call, say that it's like important. What do you do?
Well, the officers will go investigate whatever crime was being reported to us. Once they determine that it was a crime, we would, if it was something that our investigators would need to follow up on or investigate further, they would be called in if they weren't already here. And then we would, it depends on the situation. Again, it depends on the crime reported. If it was something that would generate a timely warning or an emergency notification, that would go through media relations to get that out to the public.
For the students that are listening, what are the kinds of things that you might want or need to call UPD for? Or as we were talking about right before here, you wouldn't call 911, you would call UPD because 911 would delay your response.
That's correct. Anytime you come across any type of criminal activity, suspicious activity, or you just don't feel safe, something's telling you that something's wrong, call us and let us know what's going on. Call 878-6333. Area code 716. Everybody should have that phone number programmed into their cell phones.
I'll admit I just actually programmed that this semester.
Okay. Well,
as all that stuff was happening.
It's in there now. At least it's in there now. Everybody should have that number programmed into their cell phone or memorized, just so that they don't even have to think about it when a situation does present itself. If you do witness any type of criminal activity or suspicious activity, suspicious persons, something doesn't seem right, please call us and let us know about it. And don't delay your call to us. Delaying your call to us is only going to delay our response time and taking care of the situation at hand. So if you see somebody in a parking lot with a tire iron breaking a window, don't wait until you go home, have dinner, do some homework, and then say, hey, you know what, I should probably call UPD about that now. Because chances are the person's going to be gone, long gone. We're not going to have really anything to go on at that point. If you can call from a safe distance and let us know what you see, where you are, that's great.
I probably wouldn't walk by that person.
No, I would keep yourself out of harm's way at all costs. But just to give us a call, we are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Somebody is always at the desk to answer your calls, and we always have officers on the road patrolling, answering calls, and there for you.
I know that I remembered seeing, I don't even remember where now, but after all this, the last 3 weeks, all that stuff that was happening, there was a heightened police where there was more people around more often.
Yeah, at the beginning of the semester, we do put on extra patrols just for visibility, to remain highly visible, so that the students see us, they know that we're around, they feel more comfortable with us, on campus, seeing an increased presence. We do that at the beginning of each semester, just to get all the students acclimated. Also, we've got a huge commuter population, so there may be a lot of questions, and they see a police officer and can ask a question. When we did receive those crimes that were reported to us, the couple at the beginning of the semester, we also increased our patrols in certain areas, obviously in the student apartment complex, because the slashing had occurred there. So we put a couple extra officers on to walk through the buildings and to remain visible there. After the robbery in Tower 3, we've had officers in the dorms walking around more, just to increase their presence, and let the students know that they are safe, just to reassure them.
Can you explain the blue lights that everybody sees everywhere?
The blue lights are on top of phones. Those phones are directly connected to our department. So if you see a blue light and you find yourself in danger or in need of assistance, all you have to do is get to one of those blue light phones and hit the button. And most of them, you just push a button. The instructions are right on front of the phones. You push a button, and it's a direct connection to our dispatcher. Our dispatcher knows before they answer the phone where you're calling from, your location. So even if there's nobody on the line, our dispatcher will send an officer over to check to make sure that there's no problems over there.
Do you have that problem where people just press the button?
From time to time, it does happen.
What is the normal response time for an officer to get to the actual blue light?
Our response time, campus-wide, I can't tell you just blue light phone calls, but our average response time is less than 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And that's for anywhere on campus. So
I did not know that.
I think that's pretty good. Considering, there's it's nice that our campus is so
small.
It's large for some people, smaller for others.
Compact.
But it's compact and it's contained, and you can pretty much walk everywhere without the need for a vehicle. So, but our officers do patrol on foot, in cars, and on bicycles. So you'll see, all three forms of patrol out and about when you're walking to and from class, to your dorms, to any events and stuff. So.
In the case that there is a blue button pressed, they probably would drive in that case, right?
It depends on where the phone was activated. If it's across campus from where they are, driving would probably be the quickest way to get there. Sometimes the bicycle's the quickest way, especially in large events and moving in days. And when you have a large amount of people on campus, I mean, if any of you do drive, you know what it's like during the change of classes. You see a lot more increase in traffic, and it's not always necessarily faster to drive. Walking is a lot faster in some cases, or by bicycle.
Or like if there was like Bengal pauses at the busiest time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. The union's usually fairly packed.
Yeah, it depends on where they are when they get the call, and how they respond.
So for the students that are out and about and that maybe they haven't heard this show, because I'm starting to feel a little bit more safer talking about it, but are we allowed to protect ourselves? I'm not going to say probably not a gun.
Yeah,
but like something.
I would strongly advise not carrying weapons of any type.
Really?
Weapons can be used against you. Anytime you have a weapon, it can be brought in and used against you in any type of crime. You don't need to bring guns to school. You don't need knives.
Not guns.
You don't need knives.
Mace should be fine.
One of them is illegal.
Pepper spray.
Pepper spray is legal, but mace is not.
It's legal to possess and use in self-defense only. You got to remember, if you've got something for self-defense, personal alarms work well as also, and they're not weapons of any type. They just emit a very high-pitched noise, that everybody hears.
Oh, isn't it like a certain amount of decibels?
Yeah, yeah. Personal alarms are great, pepper spray, but it's got to be accessible to you as well. I mean, a lot of people have pepper spray in their purses or in their backpacks, and it's not readily. Basically, the best way to protect yourself from becoming a victim of a crime is when you're out walking, walk in pairs, walk in more, in groups. Don't just walk by yourself. I know sometimes you have to go from your car or from your building on campus to another building and you're by yourself. Walk confidently, walk assertively, walk like you have a purpose of where you're going. Earbuds are great because you're the only one that can hear your music or whatever you're listening to, but you can't hear around you.
Yeah.
And if you look across campus, you see lots of students walking around with earbuds in their ears, and they have no idea what's going on around them. They're more likely to become victimized than the student that doesn't have the earbuds in their ears. If you need music or something to walk with, just put it in one ear. Just have one earbud in so you can hear what's going on. You got to be aware of your surroundings. Those are just personal safety tips that you don't only have to utilize when you're on campus, but off campus as well. I mean, you're walking in the park. Delaware Park is just across the street. It's a great place to go and exercise, go for a jog, but you want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to see what's going on around you, listen to what's going on around you, use your senses.
Where would we get something like the personal alarm?
I believe you can get them online, Amazon.
I bet it's the app for it.
I bet there's an app for it.
Yeah, but then you would have to find your phone, find the app.
The phone is dead.
Right.
I know there's an app that can have like a friend follow you. Like if you're say like walking from one building to another, I can't think of the name of it, but my sorority has like talked about it. Where like like your friend knows you're leaving that building.
Right.
And so like you bring up the app and all you have to do is like press just like touch your screen and it'll like notify your friend that like there's like suspicious activity going on around you or something like that, so that like she can be like on, or he or she can be on call.
Would they call you PD?
Yeah. Like no. Like it doesn't like call you PD, but like it has your friend like basically like tracking you.
Like a timer.
From yeah, exactly. Just kind of like so that it's like if they would notify your friend that something's going on so that they can call and say like, okay, well my friend was walking from here to here and something happened.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Okay.
Sorry, it was just
no.
That was like an added thing. Yeah.
I was just thinking about what you were saying.
Yeah, but even that doesn't take the place of good personal safety tips. Making sure you're responsible for your safety. We're there as well to make sure that the campus community is safe as you can be, but you are also ultimately responsible for your own personal safety. So the more you can do to help us in our mission to maintain a safe community, the better.
How long have you been Assistant Chief Carey?
I've been Assistant Chief at the Buffalo State Police Department now since January. I came from the University of Buffalo where I was a police officer and then lieutenant. I started in 1995 there, so I had almost 20 years on with at UB, and now I'm here.
Do you see any potential differences?
It's different because it's a much smaller campus community. It's a closer knit community. I went to Buffalo State, so I am an alum of Buffalo State, and so it's nice coming home per se, because I was a dorm student, and I was sitting in your shoes not too long ago. Well, I guess it was a long time ago. It doesn't feel that long for me. But so I can understand, the concerns that you have, and willingness of, just having me come in here today shows me that you're really looking for, tips on the way that the community can keep themselves safe, and you're proactive in helping us with our community policing mission.
Thank you. I think that it would be really cool if WBNY and the UPD worked together more often.
It'd be great. Let's work on something.
Let's talk about the RAD program.
Okay, the RAD program. It's a comprehensive course for women that begins with awareness, prevention, risk reduction, and avoidance while progressing on the basics of hands-on defense training. We do have it for both men and women, but the RAD, the basic physical defense classes, are more geared towards women. We do have open classes. It's a 12-hour course that you can take. It's free for all students. The 12-hour course consists of 9 hours of lecture and classroom type participation with 3 hours of scenario training where it's real hands-on. So it's a lot of fun. The students that have gone through the program, it's very engaging. They get a lot out of it, and they're able to protect themselves better and their friends. And you know, it's a great program that we have. We do have a couple open classes coming up in the fall this year that we do have scheduled. We can also schedule classes if you have a group, a sorority, or a club that would like to get a group together to go through the RAD program. We can set something like that up if you want to call the station at any time and talk to one of the officers. But we have a few open classes that are open for the fall. We have October 7th and October 14th, as well as November 4th and November 18th. And the classes run from 5 o'clock p.m. until 10 p.m. So it's a 5-hour class, but you have to get that minimum of 9 hours classroom in first before the scenarios to get certified in RAD. So, but it's a great program. We're getting more and more people completing the course, and we've received nothing but positive feedback on it.
I think it would be really cool if we could try to arrange an Empower Hour RAD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be cool. We could promote it on here.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I wanted to quickly go over the specific things that UPD has to offer for students that, like, I know that you can accommodate somebody across the campus or even to their car.
Okay. We do have, we employ 60 University Police Student Assistants, UPSAs. You'll see them around campus. They're in red shirts. And they're students that are working alongside all of you to help us. They act as an extra set of eyes and ears for our department. But they work on an observe and report job only. All right, they're not hands-on. They're not one of us. So if there is a problem, you know, they still call us and let us know about it. But they carry radios. They communicate with each other. If they see something that's suspicious or criminal, they will call us directly right away and let us know what's going on. They run the escort shuttle. Okay, and that runs for 20 hours every day. I don't know if everybody's aware of that, but 20 hours a day, the escort shuttle runs.
Is that available to everybody?
It's available to everybody.
I ride the escort van.
You ride it?
I've never done it before.
I usually ride it from Moot Hall to Grant because I don't want to walk.
Right. Yeah, during the daytime, between the hours of 8:30 in the morning and 4:30 in the afternoon, it basically runs between Cleveland Circle. It stops at the Reese parking lot, R14, and then it goes to the Grant Street lots, you know, and it has drop-off and pickups. So it stays on that course during those hours. So that's during the daytime when a lot of students, everybody always complains about parking. We have more than enough parking. We have a lot of parking on campus. But the problem is that the students are finding is they don't want to walk. Yeah. And it's only a 5-minute walk, but people don't want to walk. There's plenty of parking in the Grant Street parking lots. So, and we have the shuttle that runs that entire time. So if you don't want to walk, you just wait for the shuttle. And what was her name?
Farrah.
Sorry, Farrah. I can't see who I'm talking to here. This is a little strange for me.
It's strange for everybody that comes in.
Yeah, it's great. But as Farrah was saying, she rides it because she doesn't want to walk. So our UPSAs run the shuttles, and in between the hours of 4:30 in the afternoon and 4:30 in the morning, They have a loop where they stop at all the a bunch of blue light phones. I mean, not all of the ones internal, but mainly they're blue light phone stops along the perimeter of campus, and they will give you a ride from point A to point B, wherever you need to go.
Is it just like you go to the escort stop and then wait, or is there
Yep.
some way to figure out where they are and how long they'll be?
Yeah, it's basically you go to the stop and the shuttles will come around, and it's like every 20 minutes it'll come around. So it's a good if you're used to using them, to get from one part on campus to the other, you can kind of figure out their routine and wait out. But you're in an illuminated area waiting. You're at the blue light phone, so if there is a problem, you just touch the button. If you feel like you want a walking escort, we can send. You just call our station 878-6333 from either your phone or any on-campus phone 6333, and we can get the UPSAs out to you to walk you either to your car. Or if the UPSAs aren't available, one of our officers will. Did you say that the UPSAs are only available during specific hours too? Yeah, they're not available 24 hours. 'Cause they're students.
Mhm.
They do have class and they do like to sleep. But the walking escort, safety escorts, they are available throughout the day as well. So we will send them out to your location.
Is the UPSAs, are they only specific like builds, like somebody that would scare somebody, or can it be anybody?
No, we have a wide variety of sizes and shapes, men, women, that work as UPSAs. So it's not just one type, but if they are going to do a walking escort, they walk in pairs of two, because once again, it's safety in numbers. We're not going to tell you to walk in pairs of two. And walk in groups if we're not going to abide by that ourselves.
So if you need a UPSA, there's two coming.
There'd be two coming.
Huh.
Yep.
What
or
would
one officer.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What would somebody do? Like, how often is this a hiring position or volunteers or?
No, we do hire UPSAs throughout the year. Usually, most of them are hired at the beginning of the semester because they all go through 40 hours of training. At the beginning of the semester, and then when we're in need of UPSAs, we'll hire more, and then we'll get them trained before they can start working. But we're always accepting applications, and you can just go to Chase Hall and ask for an application at the parking office or at the UPSA office if they're there.
Mhm.
And if it's off hours, you can go to our dispatcher and ask for an application.
Okay. And then my last question, I think, for the UPD aspect of this conversation, I just wanted to go over, and it happened just coincidentally that I happened to randomly stumble upon it online, and then my battery died, so I knew that I could call UPD for a jump start.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just as easy as that, or how often does that happen?
There's also the UPSA has also run the Motorist Assist program, and they've got a truck that comes out. You can, and they'll come out and they'll do minor things to get you going, to get you on your way. I mean, they're not going to do major mechanical repairs to your vehicle.
But would they just change a tire if you needed
They
it?
may help you change a tire. It depends on who's working at the time. But yeah, like services like that that they can provide. Jump starts, vehicle lockouts from time to time.
Really?
But there's always a jumper box available that you can come and get from Chase Hall if there's not a UPSA to get it out there to you. And then if you need assistance with getting it hooked up to your vehicle, you can call one of the officers will go over and help you out.
Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about your marathon running. You just got done. Well, how long was it?
Well, it wasn't a run. It was a bicycle ride.
It was just a ride?
It was a bicycle ride. It was 280 miles. I rode from New York City to Boston in a course of 4 days.
What?
Wow. Do you stop in between?
There's a couple rest stops in between. What the ride, it's called the Tour de Force, and it happens every year right around 9/11. And it's to remember 9/11 and the victims of 9/11, to never let us forget that date and what happened. Also to remember the police officers and firefighters who died, the first responders that died in the attacks. We also raise money for police officers that were killed in the line of duty throughout the year, and we present checks to the surviving families of them throughout the year as well. But we raise all of the money, and we do the ride, and get it. It's a big public event. Get the publicity that we're remembering these heroes. We're not going to forget them, and we're going to take care of them. So I've been a part of it now. This was my 6th year riding in it, my 8th year being involved with it. It's a great organization. We've gone from Ground Zero to the Pentagon. Now that the Freedom Tower's there, it's in the 9/11 Memorial. It's not really Ground Zero anymore. But then we've also gone from Boston to New York, or New York to Boston. So it's been a fantastic ride that I've done. Amazing experience. You ride with police officers from all over the country.
What is it like to get ready for that? Like, you probably can't just take out your bike and start it.
Yeah, that's probably not a great idea, because after the first 40 or 50 miles, you'll really feel it. But yeah, there is training involved. It's not a race, but you have to get to your end point for the day, because we all get there together. We all start together, and then we get in at our own pace, depending on where we're ending. So there's portions of the ride which are escorted by police officers. When we started in New York City this year, we started at the hotel that we stayed at just outside of JFK Airport, and we rode through Brooklyn, and we stopped at the precincts where they lost their detectives, were killed while they were working, shot for no reason. We paid our respects at that precinct, which I cannot recall the number of that precinct. And then we went to the 104th, which they lost a detective as well. Not off the top of my head. I can't really remember exactly where we stopped, but we paid our respects. And then once we were done, we were fully escorted throughout Brooklyn and throughout Queens.
By police escorts?
Yes. Yep. And then once we got to the last precinct house, we were on our own to ride at our own pace. So you got some guys that just, they go, and they're riding 20, 25 miles an hour, and they get to the end quickly. And then you have others like me doing, about 14, 15 miles an hour, just taking our time, taking in the sights, stopping for water, Gatorade, cookies, whatever along the way.
Is all of that free on the way, or did you have to put in money to?
You have to raise a certain amount in order to be eligible to ride in it.
Is there a fitness requirement to be a part of UPD, or to be included in UPD?
To be part of the University Police Officer?
Yeah.
Yes. We have a physical agility test that you have to perform and pass prior to being hired as a University Police Officer, just like any other police department. So you have to be at a certain level, and then once you go through the police academy, which is, I believe, 21 weeks now, you go through your physical training throughout the course of the police academy, and you have to pass their agility test, which is a level higher than just getting in to get hired. So
it's really interesting. I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said this was the 6th one you have done?
Yes, the bicycle ride. Yeah.
Were they, how different were they from year to year? How often, what kind of changes do they make?
They have to change up the route, and they don't publicize the route ahead of time, just because for safety reasons. You've got some of the officers that I'm riding with are undercover narcotics officers that, they can't let their whereabouts be, publicized. So it's so they do change up the route from time to time. That's why we've gone, from the Pentagon to New York City. We've gone from New York City to Boston, Boston back to New York City. We've taken routes in between. And so it is different, but they get the same guys coming back year after year just because of the camaraderie and, everybody, the same mission, and, we ride for those who can't and remember them.
I hadn't even heard of it until I went to look a little bit about you when Mike gave you your name.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, if you like us on Facebook, the Buffalo State University Police, you can follow. I did post some pictures. I was able to post my map of where I went each day, but I couldn't do that until after we were done for the day.
What kind of calorie intake do you need to keep that up for 4 days?
Yeah, you have to keep consuming calories, and the right calories too. It's funny because to feed 300 people out one time, you're limited in your options for lunch when you have a lunch stop. So we had pretty much pizza every day.
Wow.
But
Wow.
Even that, I mean, you've got your carbs, you have your proteins, you have a lot of fat. But
do you keep stuff on you?
Yeah, I use the goo packets and the Cliff Bar blocks. They're like a gummy block that's got electrolytes and energy. But the goo, it's for long distance endurance.
Is it actually
stuff.
goo?
It's like
jelly?
gooey. It's like
Jell-O?
a gel that it's in a little foil tube and you just suck it. And
Does it taste good?
Some of them are really good.
Oh.
They had a salted caramel one, was really good. And they got, wild berry, they got vanilla, they got a mocha, chocolate, chocolate mint. They got a variety of flavors, so one of them.
It doesn't sound good, but
well, they're not for snacking purposes. I mean, they're for if you're doing something like that to just give you a little extra boost of energy to get you to the next rest stop. I don't normally drink Gatorade on a daily basis, but you have to drink Gatorade, to replenish your electrolytes because it was hot out there too. I mean, we did have 2 days of rain. It was overcast and raining from time to time, which was nice, just because it kept us a little cooler. But the other 2 days, I mean, it was in the mid 80s. So, and you're out there, you have no, shade. You wear a helmet, obviously, and I've got a visor on my helmet, but the rest of me wasn't shaded at all. So, sunscreen and stay hydrated. Hydration was the most important part. But they gave us a good breakfast every morning. We were pretty much on our own for dinner just about every night except for the big banquet, which was the night before. So,
how do you like being a police officer?
I love it. I originally came to Buffalo State, and I was a major in elementary education, and I wasn't sure really what I wanted to do, and I'm glad I ended up going this direction because I can't really see myself doing anything else. And I'm so fortunate that I'm now at Buffalo State. I mean, I loved my job and my experience over at UB. I had a great time there. Their population is so diverse with the international students, and just all of the activities that go on. It's just such a huge campus, and there's so much going on there. And it's nice to be over here because we do have a lot of events here as well, but it's not to that extent, So, but it's great. I love working on a college campus. I love talking with students and working with students, while they're getting out there, trying to figure out what they want to do. Because, I was there too. So I can understand a lot of what you're going through, minus the whole computers and social media era, which I'm getting to. I mean, I'm trying to stay up with it, but I can't even imagine the distractions that I would have had back when I was in school to begin with, what all of you have.
Being that you did have experience for so many years at 2 different schools, do you think that there should be like a program where there's a transition from high school kids to college, because it's like they're going from being told what to do, then jumping straight into having freedom. Do you think that there's like a minor issue with not having knowledge of what they can or cannot do on campus?
That is a good question, and I think for some students, I think that that would definitely be a great thing. But I think the college, both Buffalo State and the University of Buffalo, I think they do a lot with their incoming freshmen to help them get prepared. But it's each individual's unique personality, the way they were raised, how they're going to act once they're kind of on their own. Some step up to the responsibility, and some step up, to party. So it's it's you can't say that for the entire student population. But I think the majority, and just choosing to go to college instead of going into a field of of working or whatever else your life bring to you. But I mean, going to college, I mean, you already have the responsibility, you already have that mindset. So but I think both places definitely do a lot for the students. There's a lot of resources available on campus, on both campuses, for new students to try and help with that, getting acclimated to college life. And even if you realize, a few months in that, you might be lacking in your time management skills, or, there are places you can go to help, to get some help in getting you back on track.
I know you just mentioned events. Is there any ways for students to get involved with UPD other than like through the escort, or like do you have
to work
events?
the UPSAs?
Yeah.
We to get actually involved with working with us,
or just like anything that like any kind of volunteer activities you have, or different events that you do.
We don't really have volunteer activities per se right now that I can think of. But if anybody has any ideas, we're always open, welcome to talk to you or discuss them. We've got a campus community policing philosophy on campus, and that's throughout campus-wide. And President Conway Turner made that like one of her biggest things that she's promoting is our collaboration with the community and our efforts to make the campus community as safe as possible. And community policing is definitely one of the major factors with that. So anytime you want a university police officer to come out to your event, if you're having events, if you want to set something up to do any type of training or presentation, our officers are always on hand to do that. We just need a little bit of notice, and not like hey, can you do something in 2 hours? So but yeah, anytime we're willing to work with our community here, and any ideas that you have for us, we're all ears.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add?
Oh yeah, just one more question. Being that there has been like a lot of police brutality in the media, do UPD has like have you had any students that wouldn't go to you just because they thought that UPD wasn't going to do anything about it?
Well, nationwide, that is a fear when you interact with the police. But just rest assured, we're here to keep you safe. None of our officers would ever put you or themselves in harm's way. And we always want you to come to us for help. That's what we're here for.
Good.
Did that answer your question? Sorta,
kinda, in a way.
Sorta.
Yeah. Is it like?
I mean, yes. We have. I have had students saying that they really didn't want to get involved because if they were fearful of us. We don't want you to fear us. We want to get you help. We want to take care of the situation at hand. So please don't hesitate to call us for any situation you might find yourself in.
Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mean it's been great being here and talking with you. I enjoyed it a lot. So if you you know,
it wasn't that bad, was it?
It wasn't too bad. This is my first radio interview, so it's a little.
It's not that nervous. People can't see you or anything. They can't judge how your face looks. They can judge if you blink too much or not too much. You know.
Yeah.
It's just the voice, a strong voice.
Strong voice.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, that will do it again for the second episode of Empower Hour. This is Jessica, Farah.
Bye.
And we wanted to thank you again for coming in, Amy.
Hey, no problem. I just want to reconfirm, too, that the campus, Buffalo State, is a very safe campus. But we need your efforts to help us keep it that way. So.
And what's the phone number again?
878-6333, area code 716.
Okay, thank you so much.
Attention Buffalo businesses. Did you know that underwriting could get you noticed and recognized from people all throughout the local region? For only a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for commercial radio airtime, 91.3 FM WBNY has been an integral part of the Buffalo community since 1982. But did you know that we are a non-for-profit student-ran organization? And for us to maintain our daily operations, WBNY counts on the student activity fee here at Buffalo State, as well as the contributions from you, the local businesses. For more information, contact the WBNY underwriter at 716-878-3080 or by email at wbnyuwd@gmail.com. And thanks as always for listening to Buffalo's original alternative, 91.3 FM WBNY.